The library
is open.
Look ahead, touch the sky, hold the hand, see you cry. Be yourself, be free. Do you wanna be? I wanna be me.
My experience of traveling as a gender nonconforming queer person is that there are some places where I just have to basically inhabit my fullest masculinity and be basically a dude, like where I stop using ladies' rooms, where I just essentially travel as somebody who's legible as a man. And that more often than not, because just moving through public space becomes easier for me in those ways than explaining the gender variance of my presence in women's spaces. That said, though, I do pack a special outfit for entry into like women's spas and other places. And it's something like it's like a boat neck t-shirt, spandex capris, things that, and I always joke that, anybody who's mask presenting, but who needs to like re-enter like female guarded space needs giant hoop earrings just in a side pocket. If I threw some just hoop earrings on with short hair, I feel like that could get me into various spaces.
As a non-binary person traveling, I dread TSA. Mainly because depending on what I'm wearing, they don't know what's going on over here, right? They have to make a man or woman selection on that little scanner thingy. And if they hit, I don't want to say the wrong one, but if they hit a particular one, there's gonna be a flag that I gotta get pat down in front of all these people. Now you ribbing up on me. It's a lot, right? I think there's just so much uncertainty and unsettlement that happens when I have to travel. Sometimes I used to like just butch it up.
I think traveling as trans in an airport is like its own bubble of hell. Now when I'm traveling, I'm with my husband and with our dog, because we're always like taking our dog with us on these domestic trips, and he will have me take the dog. And because when you have an animal, you get to walk through the just the old school metal detector, because he knows that every time I go through something's gonna happen. So I take the dog now, that's the thing, and then I get to walk through and I'm not harassed.
Every time I go through a body scanner, I am like prepared to disclose to the person, and 10 times out of 10 have to, that I have my original plumbing. And that's a kind of like basic humiliation that cis people would never imagine.
having to get pat down by somebody is scary. When I'm wearing a packer and I'm like, oh no, are they gonna squeeze my packer and know that it's a packer? I don't know. There's anxiety for sure.
Here's a hot tip. Get TSA pre-check, because you get to go through the 1970s box metal detector instead of the one where they can see your genome or whatever. And that's a lot easier because you just glide through.
I haven't traveled since I transitioned. I currently have a green card that says my correct name, Severn Graham, but says the wrong gender. The gender it says is a different gender to the gender my passport says. Neither of the options they give me are correct, because neither the United Kingdom or the United States acknowledges and lets me be an intersex person in official documents, which is upsetting and traumatic. It adds to the trauma I've already been through. I've had bits of my body cut out. I had my testes cut out to make me conform to this ideology of male and female. And so to be presented with a legal document like a passport, which is supposed to be an official document that tells the truth, and to have to lie on that official document is upsetting.
It's a shit show. Even now with the Biden administration saying that you'll be able to put a non-binary gender marker on your documents and stuff like that, that's all great, right? But is it going to open me up to more transphobia and anti-non-binary violence? Probably, right? So what are you doing on that other end to do the necessary education to folks so that, I don't get weird looks when they look at my passport and see an X on it? The focus just always seems to be on stuff that we ain't asked for.
During the stages of my life where I look like this, where I look like a nice cisgendered lady, traveling for me as an LGBTQ has been less of an issue than traveling as someone who was born in Iran. I have always felt far more in danger because of my nationality than my LGBTQ status.
There are a lot of spaces that aren't ready for us, that aren't welcoming to us. It's hard for people to understand that there are a lot of places in this world where it's still illegal to be us. I have the benefit and the privilege of being a pretty big dude, which means that I don't have the fear of physical danger that a lot of queer people do. And because of that, I don't really change who I am. I worked a really long time and fought very hard to be able to have this voice, and so I try to use this voice wherever I can. I try to be as visible as I can because that can be a beacon to other queer people who don't feel as safe. I try to be as vocally, gigantically gay as possible so that other people will, I hope, feel safer being as vocally, gigantically gay as they can.
I recommend to anybody who can hear this that they never be slowed down by outside observers, that we never be driven by fear of humiliation. You can be in a room with the tiger without the tiger biting you. And I think it helps to know how to defend yourself. It helps to follow your intuition. I think it's crucial that we survive. That is what we are here for. Kate Bornstein sets the bar pretty high, which is that you can do anything in life as long as you're not mean.